Dude, Luke, the printer's still busted. What the fuck, man?
All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Topless Robot Podcast, or TERP. My name is Ryan.
My name is Brooks.
I'm Tyler.
And we're going to, I don't know, talk about some nerdy stuff and some random things. And this is just the general variety hour Topless Robot Podcast.
Where you get to listen to Ryan's buttery smooth voice.
Yes.
And as he talks you to completion. Sorry.
Talks you to completion.
Step 1, get out the Orville Redenbacher.
Step 2.
Throw that shit away and just do it dry.
Step 3, think about your stepmom and cry. Cry a lot.
Step 4, use those tears. They work great as lubricant.
No tears, only dreams.
I like how at first you're like, fuck it, we don't need lubricant. Second, and then you're like, you know what, we're crying, we may as well use lubricant.
I'm thinking you might have shriveled up a little bit when the tears start flowing. So I figure,
This tutorial puts the F in chafe.
So today is September 16th, 2018. How's your week been, you guys?
It's been pretty good. Enjoying a week here in the great year of 20XX.
20XDX
Yeah.
is my favorite way to say that is X. I just like XDX.
XDX.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
XDX. I do like that too. Kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit. Yeah, my week's been good.
Yeah.
Playing a lot of Spider-Man.
Oh, dude.
Spider-Man.
So many Spider-Mans.
Dude, I have been very much enjoying that game.
It's so good. I've
It
never
is-
had so much fun just moving in a game. Like,
Yeah.
it's so just pure joy swinging from building to building.
And it totally makes sense. Like, apparently after Sunset Overdrive came out, people were like, oh, Insomniac needs to do a Spider-Man game. And that's what led to this Spider-Man game being made. And it
sense.
totally makes sense with the way that how smooth you move around town in Sunset Overdrive. Like, it is just fun to get from point A. Like, you don't want to quick travel in Spider-Man.
No, I've not. Other than the time it makes you, like, kind of forces you to do it. It's like, I just...
The only times I've fast traveled in that game, okay. So I take that back. Sometimes I fast travel, and when I do, it's always funny because the fast travel cutscenes of Spider-Man on the subway is hilarious.
That's
Some
true.
dude like asleep on his shoulder. Have you, Brooks? Have you played Spider-Man at all?
I've seen a lot of the picture. I have not played it yet. I stress yet. I need to upgrade to a better console. That's not my PS3. I know. I've been on the indie circuit with Steam, so I'm just patiently waiting to talk about the Messenger.
Oh God, yeah. That's another one where, I mean, the controls are so tight in the Messenger.
It's so fluid. Much like Spider-Man's web fluid. Sticky sweet.
Sticky
Just
sweet.
like I am after listening to Ryan talk for a
From the
while.
wrist. Yeah.
Bitten by a radioactive game developer.
But yeah, I have thoroughly been enjoying Spider-Man. I'm in the last act.
Okay, I'm not
of the game.
I'm not super far into it. I just got it yesterday, so I've been kind of or not yesterday, Friday. Sorry. So I've spent way too much time just flying from point to point A, point
It's
B.
easy to get distracted.
I've barely done the story. I'm like 15%, 20% in already, but that's because I've played for like 10 hours because I'm just like going around collecting backpacks and taking pictures of freaking landmarks.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Yeah.
so cool I was finding the Sanctum Sanctorum, like with the Doctor Strange's lair.
I have not.
You haven't found that? You're on
No.
the last act. You haven't found it.
I've been going through the story.
I have not. I've been exploring New York.
I've found some things that I have been like, I'm just going to finish this real quick. Like what's her name? The cat lady, the Black Cat or whatever her name is. I did all of her missions real quick.
Oh, okay.
Because there's only 12 of them. But, aside from that, I've been mostly sticking to the story because the story is fairly engrossing as well.
It is actually, like, those few missions I've played so far have been great.
Yeah.
But like I said, I have found so many landmarks and taken pictures of so many things. My favorite thing so far in this game is when you find the Sanctum Sanctorum and it's a landmark, obviously, so you take a picture and Spetty goes, he's like, oh, I've always loved this building, but I always thought there was something strange going on in there. And I was like, yes.
Yeah. Okay, Doctor Strange fans.
I had heard that Sanctum Sanctorum is in there, but probably the best Easter egg in the game is, since it is basically a 1-to-1 recreation of New York City, when you get to where the Twin Towers would be,
I saw that.
There is a reflection, like the Twin Towers aren't there, but there's a reflection of the Twin Towers in neighboring buildings.
Ah.
It's the sweetest.
It's so cool.
Like,
Too soon, guys.
Tasteful.
It has only been 5 days.
It's a tasteful tribute.
Give or take.
It's a tasteful tribute, I
17
think.
Well, I mean, I'm sure someone's going to do a fun mod where the reflection changes to something else.
Yeah.
Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Fortunately, it's a PlayStation exclusive, so we won't see that kind of terrible thing until they get PlayStation 4 emulation down. And then I'm sure people will be picking it apart and doing all kinds of terrible shit.
Horrible things, unfortunately. Because the internet is a terrible place, and no one
20 years from now, I'll be playing the James Spader edition. Spaderman.
He's Robert California from The Office.
No.
I'm the Lizard King.
He's just his character from Secretary. I think we've just made this an adults only game.
Yeah, we did.
So is Maggie Gyllenhaal going to be that cat lady then, or
or Mary Jane Watson?
I was thinking Mary Jane.
or both?
Oh man! But on the topic of terrible things and Easter eggs in this game, I'm sure you both read the stories about the guy who wanted to propose to his girlfriend in the game. And her name was Maddie. Her name was Madison.
Yeah, I read about that. I read about that. Yeah.
So this guy wanted to propose to his girlfriend and wanted to do it in this grand way. And I think he tweeted something out. And Insomniac was like, yeah, we can do something like that. And so on a theater marquee in the game is Maddie, will you marry me?
I saw a little bit of this. I did not see the whole story.
And so the story it was first reported as this guy proposes to his girlfriend and she turns him down and starts dating his brother.
Ooh.
So it doesn't have a happy ending, and we often see, these game companies who are willing to do so. I think like Claptrap married someone, from Borderlands.
Yeah.
And, all kinds of game companies are always doing these fun things. And I'm sure Insomniac looked at this and were like, oh, this is a great opportunity to do something, nice for someone. And so the way the story has been reported is, this guy decides to do this grand gesture to his girlfriend, for his girlfriend to propose to her, and she leaves him for his brother, and that's basically all it was. No one had reached out to her for comment or anything like that until last week. Ooh. So now we get her side of the story, which is they were together for 5 years and their relationship was on the fritz. It was like on its way out, and this was him trying to fix the relationship. This was the last ditch effort. This was we've already bought a dog, and that didn't save this relationship. Ooh. So, will you marry me?
I guess it's a personal callback to Spider-Man Shattered Universe.
Yes. Yeah. So more apropos there. Yeah. So according to her, he sent his half brother to check on her to make sure that she was okay. And in doing so, they became very close and very good friends, but they are not dating. So just a reminder to everyone out there, there's two sides to every one of these, sob stories. And when everything goes wrong or whatever, you got to remember that there are two people involved, and their views may be a little skewed in certain ways.
Yeah, and we're all just awaiting the inevitable heat death of the universe, so it doesn't really matter anyways.
Ultimately, when you put it in those terms, it does.
Welcome to the Topless Robot Podcast, where you are pretty much guaranteed to have an existential crisis by the end. Back to you, Ryan.
And our clothes are all still on, too, so,
For now. Just wait until this becomes a video podcast.
The world's first radio striptease.
Oh, Jesus, Brooks, put it back. God damn it, Brooks. Fuck, man.
Ryan, it's not that cold in here. Come on, man. Come on. Shrinkage is not a good excuse. Not a good excuse.
Look, I'm a grower, not a shower. All right, just slow your roll there.
Oh, man.
So... The Messenger is also a very good recent game.
That was a professional segue.
It was a fantastic segue. Yes, The Messenger is a fantastic game.
Have you been playing it on Steam?
Yeah, I've been playing it on Steam. I made it to just beyond the halfway point. For those that might not know what The Messenger is, it's like to what Shovel Knight was to Mega Man and Castlevania. The Messenger is to Ninja Gaiden and
totally.
And Shinobi.
Yeah.
So it's this fantastic. It starts off as an 8-bit game and it plays very much like Ninja Gaiden. You get some of the stuff and there's fun little jokes, and the music was done by Rainbow Dragon Eyes, which is a fantastic artist. And I was surprised. I didn't know he was doing a game soundtrack, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I actually didn't know about the game until he posted a video of it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this looks great."
Yeah, I was like, I had him. He signed my my NES control deck a few years ago. Because
I'm sure that's the nerdiest thing that you can say. He signed my NES control deck.
Yeah, it was great. I have not played the NES since. I think it's cursed.
That was the end. You're like, I'm retiring it. Sorry.
I just had it in my car too. It's not like I was, not like I would have been planning it for months. It was just I had I gotten fired from my job like a couple days prior to that, and I was using the NES to prop up the monitor on my desk. I was working in a call center, so I could slouch in my chair and still see the screen okay. And so I had my box of stuff, the I got fired starter pack, the box and the plant, and the pens that you stole from the office because that'll show them, and then all the weird novelty knickknacks, the stack of comic books that I hid in my desk,
your stress balls, like 3 of them that you've accumulated over the years,
my action figures, because I'm that kind of dork. But I had this Nintendo in the back of my car. It wasn't even like my regular my go-to, because I still have that at home. And I had him sign it. And then years later, he made the soundtrack for The Messenger, which is a fantastic game. And I recommend that everyone out there play it.
Yeah.
Because it's the old school experience can be frustrating sometimes. And if you're just getting into that kind of old school challenge, The Messenger is a good starting place. It's much more forgiving than Ninja Gaiden 2.
It's much more forgiving, and when you fail, you get to have your little devil friend who
mocks
you.
Yeah,
they make failure entertaining. And so that's it's kind of like one of the reasons why Super Meat Boy is as entertaining as it is. Is because they make failure fun. They you're going to fail, and then you get to watch all of them at once, and that sort of thing. And I think making failure fun in that way is a super smart move.
Yeah.
In this case, it comes in the form of this little devil dude that you have to pay off, because every time you die, he's actually saving you from death.
Yeah,
and then you owe him money. And so the pickups that you get go directly to him until he feels that the debt has been repaid.
Okay, that's actually super cool.
Or he gets bored.
Oh,
So
yeah, it's great.
If you sit around, you could just stand there, and after a while he'll just go away because he's bored.
And if you die during a boss fight, he'll show up and when he sees the boss, he'll just freak out and dip. He'll just be like, I'm gone.
Yep.
Bye.
Yeah, it's really very, very well done. I think that was published by Devolver Digital, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I have yet to find a game put out by Devolver that I didn't just absolutely love.
I don't. What else have they done? Because
let me bring up the list because they've done a lot. Wiki. So I feel like they may have published some of.
Serious Sam.
Yeah, so Serious Sam.
Hotline Miami. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Hotline
those are the guys that did Hotline Miami.
Trousers, Ali Ali, Hatoful Boyfriend, Heavy Bullets, Talos Principle, Not a Hero,
Fistful of Gun.
Fistful of Gun. Downwell is an amazing one. Broforce, Knocked is a lot of fun. Enter the Gungeon is incredible.
I've heard nothing but great things about that one.
Stories Untold is a blast. It's one of the few rare games that I've beaten. I'm terrible at beating games.
I am right there with you.
I play tons of games. I'm horrible at beating them.
It took me so long to beat
Genital Jousting.
Genital Jousting. Oh, I've seen.
Yeah, where
I've
you're
seen it.
Which recently got a single player update where you have a story that you play through.
That is fantastic.
That's they did Swords of Ditto, and that's been,
Swords of Ditto is a blast.
That's been in my wish list for a minute because from what I understand, it's like the Hotline Miami of Legend of Zelda.
I would say it's more like an Adventure Time roguelike.
So I'm talking about Adventure Time. The wound is too fresh.
Oh God! How much did you tear up?
I bawled my eyes out when BMO sang. I believe the song is Time Warrior. I was just like, no,
good Lord! Will happen. Happened. Yeah. And I didn't realize until I saw a comment because Rebecca Sugar wrote that song.
Yeah.
And then she played it at an Adventure Time panel before the finale. And John DiMaggio is just crying his eyes out while she's playing this song. And I didn't realize until I read one of the comments that it's will happen, WILL happen. So is going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
Happening is presently happening.
Yep.
And then happened. So it's the cycle of which they are, driving home during that episode. God, I lost it. Jasmine kept trying to talk to me or like bring something up, and I'm just like totally silent, like red-eyed, just bawling.
Yeah, like I managed to hold in my sobbing for just as many lone manly tears as possible. I'm on the couch with my roommate Zeke, and we're both just trying to not. We know we're gonna cry, and we're both not afraid to cry in front of each other. We're just all the stuff going on. The ending of this show, which has been going on for.
Oh God, like 10 years?
I think
like
between 10 or 8 years, something like that. And just like, becoming a man with Adventure Time in the background.
Yeah.
And watching all your favorite characters, become more complicated and all the weird fan theories you have in the back of your head about stuff. And it was a very tasteful close to a phenomenal show.
Absolutely.
I feel bad. I've actually never seen a single episode of Adventure Time.
Oh my God.
I'm
Come
a
on,
terrible
grab your
person.
friends.
I know.
We'll go to very distant lands.
With Ryan
These are
the human
references that I
and
don't
Brooks the other
get.
human. The fun will end at the end of this podcast. It's Adventure Time.
These are references I don't understand.
The fun will end at the end of this podcast because that's when the spankings begin. Actually, no, that's
Isn't
when the fun
they
begins as
start?
well.
Yeah, that's when it starts. But only if you're spanking me, Ryan.
Oh, yes.
Actually, Brooks, you can join in as well.
You
can take turns. It'll be amazing.
I'm more of a. I'm gonna put on my my Wayne Newton cosplay and just sit in the corner and drink my glass of milk and watch.
You're more of a catheter old woman kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's a callback to bonus content.
Yeah. if you don't get that reference, listen to the bonus episode that's probably going to come out after this.
Neither confirm or deny that I said any of those things.
I'll confirm it. I'm going to go ahead and confirm it. We're going to nip that right in the bud.
Second party confirmation. And now you got another. Yeah,
All in favor, say aye.
I don't know. In favor of what? Cathetering old women or?
Yes.
God damn it. So you're mostly on the Steam train then?
Lately I have been. The last I want to say maybe 2 years or so, because I went from being an old school guy, because growing up I was always a console behind, and so I was rocking a Sega Genesis until the PlayStation 2 came out.
Oh wow.
And then I got a PlayStation because benevolent uncles are fantastic. If you're listening, Uncle Billy, thank you. And so I just been behind the eight ball when it comes to games for a long time, and so I've just been more of an old school guy, and so fortunately Steam has been a darling to me with these indie games that, you know, blah, blah, great pixel art like
dude.
like The Messenger and trying to think of another one that was Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh, absolutely. I backed that on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I saw that they had those neat repro SNES cartridges. I think somebody made for those.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't think they actually worked, but it's kind of like when with the Sonic Mania.
Sure.
The Genesis thing.
Yeah, hold that thought. I've got it. Where is it? Ah, there it is.
Ooh.
And it's got a gold ring inside of it.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, dude.
I like that they even
Blue
have
streak speeds by Sonic the Hedgehog.
So we have that one, and then we have the Sonic Underground theme song. That was just like, oh, so you know Sonic, you know that the blue guy that runs and chases the fat fuck in the robot thing. It's like, well, now we're adding wizards and shit, and and he's got a band, and they're all voiced by the same person.
Tyler has just beard his stomach.
I'm going to be so uncomfortable for the rest of this podcast.
Fantastic.
I'm just covered in beer foam.
Well,
It's all over my stomach.
You can't. God damn it, Tyler.
I guess someone's gonna have to take their.
Oh yeah, I guess you're gonna have to be. You're
Domino's
gonna
about
have to
to
be
fall.
the first to strip on this. I mean,
Actually, is
no,
this-
Brooks is already stripped. I already made that canon.
Of course.
Do you feel a little triggered not being the first person to lost your clothes? in
You
the room
know,
today?
I'm
You know.
okay. I'm okay
okay
conceding
with
it to Brooks.
You're okay.
First is the worst, and second is the best, and third is the one with the hairy chest.
Oh, I thought it
actually
was
very
third.
true.
Third is the nerd in the polka dot dress.
Well, I mean,
The hairy chest.
I
wonder, do the curtains match the dress?
Zero accuracy. I cannot grow body hair to save my life. That is not a thing that my
either.
body is capable of doing. I can grow facial hair finally, but only in a very.
Now he's
yeah, no.
unbuttoning.
Yeah,
wow,
there's
look
nothing.
at that.
There's nothing
Oh,
here.
you are just like a Ken doll down there, aren't you?
Yeah. It's just smooth. It's just molded plastic. There's my
Oh my
underwear.
God, there's nothing downstairs.
my underwear is
fantastic.
literally a part of my
Made
body.
of plastic. You got help.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Oh man! God damn it!
well, we've jumped from Spider-Man to the Messenger to Aqua now.
God, I
I
remember.
feel like that's a logical progression, to be honest.
Naturally.
I feel like I remember picking up what is undoubtedly an inaccurately labeled MP3 on LimeWire or on Napster back in the day.
So you mean every MP3 on
That-
LimeWire or Napster?
that was it was labeled Rammstein covering Barbie Girl.
Okay, I need.
I
to
don't
hear
know if this is a thing that actually happened or not.
I'm
I
not
mean,
too sure about that.
So
I want this to be a thing.
All right.
Can we not look it up and just kind of pretend that this is something that happened?
I'm searching for it on YouTube. I don't know.
I
consult
feel like
the
I'm-
oracle.
I feel like I'm going to be disappointed here because there's no way this didn't. Oh my god!
no,
There's the YouTube.
Yeah, it's real.
It was auto-completing.
Oh my god! It does exist.
Well, and this says official, but it's by some dude named William Garcia, who I feel like is not official in the slightest.
I think Poop Loser 69 420 Blazing is probably the most accurate. He's probably actually in the band.
This is oddly pornographic.
I don't know.
It's happening here.
I have no clue.
I mean, I had the I thought it was gonna be cool, but I don't know, man.
I'm actually a little uncomfortable watching this with you two. I feel like this is
This sounds
not Ram's
This
thing.
is probably not Ram's thing.
So-
this sounds more like Raskaja than anything else.
that's
It is-
exactly who it sounds. It definitely sounds like Ruskaja.
It is likely inaccurate.
This person also bit the LimeWire falsely labeled MP3.
And then decided to upload a music video of it.
Let's follow his Twitter at William Garcia 18.
Don't give him the traffic.
We should follow him and then just be and just at him like you're a goddamn liar with no explanation. And he'll
All right,
just
everyone tweet at William Garcia 18 or whatever it was. What was it?
William
At
Garcia
William
18.
Garcia 18.
Yeah, we're coming for you, Will.
you goddamn
Fucking liar.
liar. Don't even say anything.
He says,
This video is the original version of the song Barbie Girl in German or Dutch, because many feel that there is no video, but that is your original. What?
people
Go on.
Sorry, didn't mean to take
No,
this
no,
over,
no,
but
go on.
People into who is the owner of this video on you Space Tube. Let him because we like him. Comment him.
The category is music.
Yeah.
And then there's another line that says music in this video. And learn more. See, we're just gonna read.
Song Neem in ander in die Maling, artist Ome Henk. That's what YouTube's algorithm has figured out.
The infamous algorithm.
Neem in Ander and Demaling kind of just sounds like it's some other language. Troy and Abed in the morning. I just kinda, that's what
Neem in
feel.
ander in die Maling.
We're Google searching this. Oh
Ome
my
Henk. No, that's a real thing. So it is not Rammstein.
That ain't no Hank Williams song.
Well, it depends. Could be Hank Williams III.
Ome Hank is how you say Hank Williams in a ambiguous European language.
Ome Henk.
Oh my Hank. This is a terrifying video.
Yeah, it's a very strange cover of it.
Ow.
Who is Ome Henk? Uncle Hank is the main character of a Dutch CD, DVD, and comic series of the same name. The Ome Henk CDs consist of stories which depend on dialogue and sound effects and songs, some of which are parodies. So there we go.
So definitely not Rammstein.
Definitely not Rammstein.
Was that the song that you found?
Yes,
It
I'm
was?
fairly certain
That's
is the song
fantastic.
that I found.
See,
not Rammstein.
I have trust issues primarily because of LimeWire growing up. For the longest time, I was trying I downloaded Over the Hills and Far Away, and it said that it was by Sonata Arctica. And for the longest time, I was looking like after the LimeWire days, like trying to find that version of the song. I'm like, they did it though. They did it, didn't they? They did it. And then I found out, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed. And that's why I have trust issues. And
I put a virus on my parents' computer looking up Ordinary World by Duran Duran on LimeWire.
I feel like that's a rite of passage
Yeah.
growing up with music piracy.
No, it wasn't me. It was my brother. That's probably one of my favorite Duran Duran songs.
Duran Duran is, I mean, like, no irony, a great fucking band.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
I am a big Duran Duran fan.
The one thing that I feel like kind of ended with the ending of the LimeWire and Napster days was finding those random songs that you could attribute to nobody that even still today you struggle to find, that were just random MP3s that someone had. Like there was this incredible Metroid remix that I found.
Oh, we're going down the video game remix train.
Way back when. I have no idea who did it. It was perfection. Like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it because it was so. I mean, never mind that Metroid has a great soundtrack. The remix, this remix in particular, was just so well done, and I've never been able to find out who it actually was. It was just one of those things. You look up Metroid on LimeWire or Napster or whatever, you find something.
That's why I fortunately I think I planned for this, 8 years ago when I got my PS3, 8 or 9 years ago when I got my PS3.
God, it's been that long.
I have backed up. I just throw music on there and I keep it in chronological order so I can always go back to when I was, at the time, so I can keep track of where I was in the timeline. So I could. This is when I downloaded that Three Doors Down song. That I thought was really cool, and there's that Killswitch Engage Dio cover.
Hey, that song's a treasure. You can go. That's amazing.
See,
that's a great cover.
The problem is that I found this song 20 years ago.
You're never gonna find that. That's gone. That is in the ether.
I don't have any of the electronics that I owned 20 years ago.
That will be a mystery that you will.
Those were days before thumb drives.
You can just age yourself like 30 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm an
In
old
the
man,
ancient of
whatever.
days, long ago.
In the year 2000. Never mind 2 years before 2000.
I had an interesting moment, speaking of LimeWire, finding songs on LimeWire that you have no idea who they're by. Mm-hmm. And it was an obviously mislabeled song. I had no idea. I can't even remember what it was labeled, but it was a song that I downloaded, added it to my MP3s, and I had listened to it for years. And it was a great song, and I could not find it. And by the time, I couldn't find what the song was. And then I went and saw Testament play, and they had the opener was Gravedigger.
And they played the song?
Played the song.
You're like, oh my God. It was one of those,
my God.
I can only imagine how that moment went.
I was sitting there, I didn't know what to do because this is a song I had listened to for a couple years and I kind of forgot about it. Same thing. Lost the old hard drives. Didn't have that anymore. Didn't really go back and listen to it.
Imagine his disappointment when he found out that it wasn't about the monster truck.
Gravedigger.
What is this shit?
Sunday. Kids and senior citizens, just $5. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Explosion.
But yes, I had
Gravedigger takes on Bigfoot.
Oh my God, Bigfoot. Oh.
Bigfoot, a talking cigarita.
God, you're taking me back to staying home from school and watching infomercials on Channel 9 just because there's nothing else on.
Oh, man.
If you or loved one have...
I've fallen.
You may be entitled to compensation.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
If you have mesothelioma... and you took X drug, you could be in for blah, 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 blah.
And it went from mesothelioma to vaginal mesh implants and
vaginal mesh implants.
Yeah.
Those words combined that don't make sense right there.
That's gonna be the name of my new industrial project. Come see us play at the 7-Eleven on Dobson and Warner at 11
Next
p.m.
up is vaginal mesh implants.
With our first hit song saying Rammstein did nothing wrong.
No, so I still have the search results up here, and one that keeps piquing my interest is Rammstein and Tattoo doing Barbie Girl, which it's inevitably not.
Tattoo,
There's no way.
Like the guy from Pleasure Island, or Fantasy Island, or...
all the things he said, that little guy said.
What is happening in this?
This is
Oh,
just
this is
Barbie
the
Girl.
same-
This is just normal Barbie Girl.
I think you might be having a stroke because it's definitely German, sir.
Right, but the original Barbie Girl, Aqua's a German band.
Oh. No, it's
Oh no, it is
one
the
that-
same
yeah,
one. It
it's
is the same
that
one we just listened to. Yep. No, you're right.
One of these,
Sorry.
Okay, see, downloaded
RV, capital R, capital V, lowercase y, capital H, capital V, who uploaded it 10 years ago. That is not Rammstein and Tattoo.
It's kind of funny. This is like carbon dating right here. You entered something that a lot of people have entered. Apparently, this LimeWire track that you found was a popular thing because it's giving us
Apparently
all
so.
it knows exactly what we're looking for here.
Yep.
And a lot of people made the same exact mistake.
Yeah, apparently. And it was, now if you think about it, the way that those services worked, this could all, like this entire false thing that we have now ensured, it's replicated on YouTube. Other people uploaded this thing. It's all down to one person who had a mislabeled MP3 in his library and was sharing it on Napster and LimeWire.
Kazaa.
And Kazaa.
Oh, Kazaa. Oh, Kazaa.
We
But
can't leave out Kazaa.
think about it.
Thank you, Andrew Finkelstein from Iowa City.
Is that the founder of Kazaa?
Do you think?
No, I think that's just the guy that mislabeled the song.
Oh, yes.
Do you think this was like his moment? Like he's like looking on the web now, and
You
he has
imagine
like a
he's
single
gotta be-
solitary tear. He's just like, oh, this is what I did. This.
He's like in
I
his
did
40s
this.
now. Every once in a while he searches on YouTube. He's like,
That was me. It was all me.
Not even it's just the rapid exhalation of air from your nose.
You see, unbeknownst to us, he managed to tap into the bootstrap paradox of time traveling, and so he's like, maybe if I will it, in the future, someone will come back in time and actually give Rammstein's version of Barbie Girl that they'll do in the future because of it. Unfortunately, didn't take off, Andrew.
yeah, I think that we need to start a campaign
to make Rammstein.
to make Rammstein actually cover Barbie Girl. Because this is something that's been floating around the internet for at least 20 years.
Yeah, and look at that. The third one right there, 6.6 million views.
Yeah. I mean,
By Mud Crush.
people are looking for this. People are looking for this. Rammstein, you are obviously listening to this podcast, I'm sure, clearly. So we need to start a campaign to get Rammstein to cover Barbie Girl. And I think we need to come up with a hashtag for it.
Make Rammstein great again.
I think
I don't think they'd appreciate that, to be honest.
I think it
There's
should
some
be-
No, I take
connotations.
that back. I'm sorry, guys.
I think it should be hashtag do Barbie Girl, except DU Barbie
Dude,
Girl.
yes.
So everyone,
This is
tweet
brilliant.
it Rammstein with hashtag DU Barbie Girl, Barbie Girl, to get them to cover Barbie Girl to make this loop close.
This needs
complete
to
the circle.
Complete the circle.
Complete the circle.
But so on the topic of these mislabeled MP3s, there was another notorious one, which was System of a Down covering Legend of Zelda.
Ooh, I haven't heard of that one either.
Okay, I'm sure YouTube is going to have my back here.
YouTube's gonna apparently
This one, however, was addressed by Serge Tankian,
really.
and he said, "No, it's not us."
It was me, Austin. It was me
And
all along.
I believe that someone actually found out who it really was, and I think the name of the band was something like Rabbit Junk or something like that. But
I think you mean Rammstein, who also did Barbie Girl.
New hashtag do Zelda.
Yeah.
DU Zelda.
Do Zelda.
Apparently
See,
YouTube
again,
and LimeWire
again.
live in the
Oh,
same.
wow.
it autocomplete.
Echoes from the past.
Apparently YouTube and LimeWire live in the same timeline
And
here.
so there's lyrics to this.
There are lyrics.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's not just a bunch of do's. Oh, I've heard
song.
this. Yeah.
People actually thought this was System of a
People
Down.
thought this was System. I mean, it does kind of sound like Surge.
It sounds like Riskaja again. That's what it sounds like.
Actually, that's the secret. Riskaja actually recorded all of
Yes.
these. They're the source. They're the source. Thank you, Riskaja.
I haven't even listened to them in like 6 months, and for some reason they're coming up.
It's because they too live in the same timeline that YouTube and LimeWire apparently have created here. We're in this weird time loop.
Are we in a time loop?
I think we are in a time loop.
Let's do the time warp again.
Are we in a time loop?
Oh, I was gonna make a looper reference. We need Bruce
Are we in a
Willis.
time loop?
Where's Bruce Willis?
Are we in a time loop?
Are we in a time loop?
Are we in a time
Are
loop?
we in a time loop?
Are we in a time loop?
Are we in a time loop?
Are we in a time loop?
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Are we in a time loop?
Are we in a time loop?
So
So yeah, the actual band, I'm sure it's going to be down here. Yeah. Here's a
remember
top
da-
comment. This is one of the classic mistakes of the internet.
I remember downloading the System of a Down song with LimeWire.
Thank you, Fap Noob, for making us feel.
Fap noob.
And someone quoted the
Ford?
Zelda Wiki.
Nerd.
From Zelda Wiki, the Zelda Encyclopedia. In case we needed to know what Zelda Wiki was, Zelda is a short song composed by Joe Plyman, a sound designer in Boston, performed by his band The Rabbit Joint. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not Rabbit Junk.
Hey, you got the word.
The rabbit joint.
You got the rabbit and the J right. You were close.
The song features lyrics written by Joe, which are sung to the tune of the classic Zelda overworld theme. It was released on his 1998 album, The Rabbit Joint. The song became famous among the Zelda fan community partly because of the fierce debate surrounding the identity of the artist of the song. Zelda had managed to work its way on peer-to-peer file sharing networks such as Kazaa, labeled as being by System of a Down, despite the fact that the voice was obviously not that of System of a Down's Serge Tankian. Many people still believed them to be the true artist.
Show less.
That was like the most passive-aggressive Wikipedia entry I think I've ever seen.
Mikey Duvall, thank you for telling us how much of a nerd you are.
Thank you, Mikey Duvall, 4 years ago
You
for
can just
correcting people on the internet.
Yes.
back then it was still in vogue. Correcting people on the internet it wasn't bound to get you.
Actually.
Adjust glasses.
I'm surprised I don't see any actuallys.
I mean,
I
that
see
was as
plenty of
close to
corrections.
that was as close to an actually as you can get without actually saying it. Like from the wiki.
I want SOAD cover this for real. Thank you, Mr. Bardo.
re-listen to discuss the Game Grumps playing Zelda.
SMG4 sent me here. I like that theme, and I thought it was Brent O'Frost's doing.
My favorite actor is Dennis Quaid.
I don't even think this sounds like System.
Oh, and then
Oh
this,
no! And then
Thomas Hughes
this guy doubles down on it.
This is System of a Down. It's from the demo album Toxic Tracks with 12 X's in it.
with confidence. Like no, he just goes out there and puts his reputation on the line.
I feel like what confuses me even more is it's got 46 thumbs up.
Yeah.
There's at least 47 people.
You mean Rat Joint?
But this is so at. What are you saying?
What?
there,
I'm
monkey
so
shit?
confused. I'm so confused. Oh, because he's replying to someone who is no longer, I think, in the thing. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah.
That was like
Another
in 6
one of
words,
those
There's a lot of things
classic LimeWire, Kazaa, Napster, mislabeled MP3s that made it into, it was just one of those things that the original artists never got any credit. It was just kind of, hey, yeah, Rammstein totally covered Barbie Girl. System of a Down totally put lyrics to Zelda.
Bruce Springsteen did turn the page, and
But remember, that hashtag is Do Barbie Girl. DU Barbie Girl. We need to seriously get Rammstein
We need to put that out.
Yeah.
It needs to happen. We should start an actual petition.
Oh yeah. The moveon.org petition is available. the link will be in the podcast description, or you can go to our website toplessrobot.com, where this is going to be posted, and you will find a link there.
I will say that I don't think MoveOn.org actually has any legal standing in Germany where
I don't think they have any legal standing in the United States.
Technically, with the petition, if you're petitioning the national government, once it reaches a certain response count, I don't remember, it's like 100,000 signatures or something like that, they have to answer.
Sweetheart, you're still living in the Obama years.
Fool!
Oh, I forgot that we're in the worst timeline. I'm sorry. Sometimes I go to sleep and dream of years of yesteryears.
Under Obama, the White House put a petition section on the WhiteHouse.gov website.
That's right, and they shut
where
that down. I forgot.
once it reached, once anything reached a certain point, it would legitimately be addressed by government. That doesn't exist anymore.
I forgot. See, I do my best to just kind of scrub out the current political climate as much as I possibly can. Just
That's why I play my Genesis to forget.
that's why we play video games. And
That's why
Sega
you
does
play.
what the government don't.
Respond to Puerto Rico.
That's why you
crises?
play. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Everyone just lives for that drum break.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a law that if that song comes up on the radio, that you're not allowed to skip or change the channel until you get to that drum.
I believe the technical law states that if you're listening to it in your car, you have to pull over so you can air drum that part before you continue.
And you have to make eye contact with whoever's closest to you. And I don't mean as far as interpersonal relationships. I mean as the person in the next car over.
See, hard mode, you don't even pull over. You just drive down the freeway and just hope for the best.
Hope for the best. As you're making eye contact with someone going 80 next to you, boom, 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 boom.
I mean, could you imagine being in the opposite car at that point? That'd be the most terrifying moment ever. You just turn and you make eye contact with a madman driving 80 miles an hour down the freeway.
And that's how I met my wife, actually.
And that is actually the final episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Still a better finale, hashtag.
Yes.
My two sons' names are Colin and Phil. Phil Susudia and
That's funny. They'll get right along with my two kids, Robert and Palmer.
don't forget about Emerson and Lake.
Oh man. So I guess segue.
Another thing in the news that I paid attention to, because I try not to pay attention to the news all that much, was Henry Cavill is out as Superman.
I'm putting up a dramatic finger.
Yes, I noticed that.
A dramatic finger. That's, silence spreads in the room.
I
actually,
can't tell if you're offering my butthole something or
I mean, can't it be both?
maybe.
Hold on, dramatic
you know what?
finger and sit and spin. Bitch.
Hold on. Let's switch fingers. Go to a different one. Just maybe this one. Maybe go with the pinky.
I think the ring finger.
Okay, we'll
is-
We'll loosen it up a little bit, and then we'll.
You got to gauge up.
Grow.
You got to work your way.
Okay.
Yeah.
The single ring finger up is like the frick of hand gestures.
Frick you, man. Frick you.
Go to heck,
right.
you frickin' loser.
Go.
You sound like me in 7th grade. Stop bringing up my history, man. Okay,
Go on.
Anyway, what I was going to say.
Good frick.
Did you see the cryptic response that Henry Cavill
Henry
Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
I can pronounce names. Henry Cavill put on Instagram.
I did not.
You should look.
Why
this
did
up.
he choose Instagram as his method of
He has some
conveying? Like, really, you don't need a picture to go along with the follow-up to "You're insensitive." It just,
It's because he chose to grow a goatee this time. So he wanted us all to know the decision to bow out of Superman.
It's like, look, I'm really sorry. Also, by the way, look at my face.
Look at my face.
Meet a man.
And that's actually the real reason that he's not in Superman anymore. He grew a facial. He grew a full beard, and he was contractually obligated to keep it, and that's just too much Photoshop.
Which means that that Nick Cage will finally get his moment in the sun.
I would pay to see it.
Oh God,
I would pay to see it. We need to have that first video. This is his
it's a
response
video
right here. It's a video.
Oh, okay. So now I understand why I was posted to Instagram. He wanted to make it more personal of him actually speaking the words on his script.
No.
No,
He doesn't say a fucking word. This is the strangest video. Just to narrate,
okay.
he is now lifting a Superman action figure. This is right after the
it's one of those
news
shitty
broke.
ones too.
Well, boom, 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 boom. Roof, 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 roof.
Yep. And that's
Today was exciting. Hashtag Superman.
And that's the video. That is the entire. It's.
I bet he doesn't even know how red kryptonite works.
So
what is happening?
and apparently it's gone from definitely confirmed to not really. So we're gonna see if he's not gonna be Superman in the future.
Maybe we'll find out that he was actually playing Cyborg Superman the entire time. Superman.
But
Wow, that I
It's-
don't.
And he's gonna play Geralt from
He
The
is gonna be
Witcher.
Geralt.
Oh yeah, okay.
Geralt.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Gerard?
Who?
Jerry Rafferty.
Who? So someone had an article, or at least a post about how Henry Cavill was a perfect casting for Geralt because neither of them are capable of expressing any emotion at all. I think it may have been an AV Club article.
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
an
so.
AV
I think
club.
so.
Where it's I mean, what perfect droid-like person to cast.
Am real human. Can emote sad.
Yeah. Though I will say,
The Tinderbot of actors.
My issue is that I am from the Witch. I actually played a lot more Witcher 1 and 2 than I did 3, and he's too pretty to be Geralt. I know that the magic of movie makeup, but it just I don't know.
As long as it's better than Seventh Son. Because that was terrible. That had nothing to do with the Iron Maiden album, by the way. It was a lot of Jeff
It
Bridges.
it sounds like you went into it with some expectations.
Oh, I did. I was just like, oh man, this is gonna be great. Like
Honestly,
Jeff
there's-
Bridges is playing a wizard or something, and then it's just like, and
That's actually
those were his lines.
we actually have
Kind of.
we actually have Jeff Bridges in the studio today because that was the most perfect.
No, you're just being the fucking alien from Rick and Morty.
I don't know. He actually sounds a little bit more like what's his name from Chowder.
oh yeah. Have you guys heard his album that he put out a couple of years ago?
What?
So when Squarespace was becoming a thing, they part of the big push was like anyone can make a Squarespace, and then Jeff Bridges was like, I made this album, and it is a sleep aid. It is called the Jeff Bridges Sleep Tapes.
Oh my.
Okay.
We can go on a hang gliding adventure with Jeff Bridges. There's
I'm just saying, if I ever heard the words Jeff Bridges sleep tapes, sleep aid albums would not be the first thing that came to my head.
and the album art is really creepy. It's just a bunch
That's
of
fucking terrifying. How do you sleep with that looking at you? What is going on here?
There are too many eyes on the screen.
no tears, only dreams.
What? Okay. So it's.
What is happening?
He's gonna talk.
I mean,
to
I'm
us.
sure I could probably get away with putting at least some
Actually,
of the
that
audio
one,
on here.
That one right there.
The Temescal Canyon.
Yeah, can we please get this off the screen? It's a bearded man with lots of eyes.
Oh, look, he looks so peaceful. He's adorable. And he's wearing the dude sweater.
He is. Oh, I mean, it probably is like the most comfortable sweater ever.
Like my options here are buy the album, hear Jeff's album, watch more Jeff.
You know,
He's walking.
I'm willing to wager that he's actually like some kind of wizard, and that sweater of his that pops up in all his movies is actually his familiar.
It's basically Doctor Strange's coat.
Yeah.
It's actually sentient and.
All right, now, picture yourself there. And picture me
There's this track that is a sequence of very strange and specific affirmations, like you're really good at knowing when the light's going to turn green, and like I'm not even kidding. This is
I'm actually like a little bit uncomfortable listening to this. I don't like listening to people that are out of breath while I'm sleeping. It's like it makes me feel like I should be tired. Like I'm sympathetically tired. Like he's walking on this hiking trail, and that now it just makes me feel like I should probably go hiking. And now I'm exhausted, but I can't sleep because there's another. I don't know. This is.
you can smell it.
You can smell it.
Can you smell what the Jeff is, Bridget?
I feel like, honestly, I do like hearing him talk.
I do too.
Yeah.
I just don't like hearing him breathe in my ears.
Oh, God. Could you imagine if it was an ASMR experience?
Oh, no, thank you.
Jeff Bridges with a cold eating a sandwich. I think Jim Carrey is cited as saying hell is listening to our grandparents eat. Breathe through their noses while they eat. I'm paraphrasing that, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God. I am loving this picture though.
He does look adorable.
Jeff inside Jeff. Really, he looks very comfortable.
He does. See, I could sleep looking at this image when I fall asleep.
His Jeftras are aligned.
Oh my God.
That just makes me think that Jeff needs to open up his own yoga studio.
I wouldn't
Jeff
be
goes by
surprised
Jeff.
if
and then-
Mr. Bridges did have a yoga studio and in fact sent us some passes to experience this thing.
they're not called chakras in the studio. They're called bridges.
They are a bridge between the physical embodiment and the spiritual realm.
And our Bridges of Madison County fanfic.
Well played. Well played. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, Jeff Bridges, you were such a treasure.
He looks like he could play a really good live action Winnie the Pooh right here. I don't know why. He just has this Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
Oh, bother.
You know, I bet if he played Dumbledore, they would have gotten a lot more shit done at Hogwarts.
I think they've gotten less. You've seen the...
Yeah, you've seen The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
More learning, more learning.
Just chill out, Harry.
Just chill out. You're like a wizard, man.
The Dumble does not abide, dude. So, like, put your wand in this pot or something and you'll really go on a ride, man.
Just
Potions would be a much different experience.
Spark up a broccoli wand with Dumbledore. Swish, flick, and pass.
No,
And I'm swishing and flicking my pen as I do this.
Let's be real here.
It's marijuana.
He would
marijuana.
Marijuana.
Whoa, guys. Not even once. Okay. Not even once. According to every game I ever played in an arcade in the 90s, winners don't do drugs.
Yeah, dare to keep kids off drugs.
D won't do drugs. A won't have an attitude. R, I will respect myself, and E, I will educate me now. I remember.
You remember that? Jesus.
Wow.
I had to perform that.
Wow. You were a dare kid?
I was a dare kid. I had the T-shirt and everything.
Oh, man.
Our dare officer was actually kind of cool. Officer Dale. I think that was his name. or Officer Dare. I don't know. It could've just-
Officer, I think you just kind of juxtapose the Dale. You're like, what's his name?
You know,
Dale,
Officer
Dare,
Dare, who showed us exactly what kind of weights and measures and terminology to use, so we don't sound dumb on the phone.
Oh my god.
Just saying, having a shirt and everything in Dare, that's not really that high barrier of an entry. I'm pretty sure all of us got shirts.
Oh,
for
yeah,
that.
I'm sure.
They were passed out the 1 week that they do that every year.
I just remember having to
T-shirt
say
cannons, man.
this thing. It was like this weird song that they made us do in this assembly, and it was just like a chant. You know, it was like our Gregorian chant. You know.
Yeah. I don't remember ever.
You even have a clipboard. You could have done it. There we go. There we go. I'm so happy right now.
It's like
Stop. You're making me hard.
yeah, yeah. It's weird the things you hang on to from school like that. Like I remember the weird Earth Day song that we had. I remember parts of that. I went to a school that, you know, in high school that was small enough to where your role in these school plays was based on how tall you were, as opposed to your acting ability. And so it's just a lot of weird little propaganda things I remember from, you know, the war on drugs.
Huh.
Rages on.
Yeah, I don't
remember Dare.
I don't
at
remember
all.
ever. I don't think I ever had a visit from a DARE officer. What I do remember is some college kids coming in when I was in middle school to talk to us about smoking cigarettes. And they did the cigarette, you know, attached to a bottle with water in it thing, and to show, like, look at how dark this water gets. You know, that kind of thing.
They have a guy that comes in with one of those throat mics, you know. It's like, oh, vocoder.
Mike Wazowski, I'm watching you.
I was the third member of Daft Punk.
See, the things that I remember most from high school, the driving safe auditorium.
Yeah, I don't remember any. Well, of course,
presentations.
I dropped out after my sophomore year, so I don't remember any of those things. I had none of those things. Like, I didn't have driver's ed.
But he had street smarts.
I just went to the DMV and read a thing and then took my test.
I didn't have DMV either. Or DMV. I didn't have DMV either.
But
Driver's ed.
they're all over.
My parents ended up after.
Actually, no, I didn't have DMV. I had MVD.
MVD.
Whatever.
Motor vehicle
Vehicle
I was
department?
technically-
Division?
Everywhere else it's the
Instead of the
DMV.
division
But
of
here
motor
it's the
vehicles.
MVD. I was technically correct. That is the best kind of
Well,
correct.
NBD. Okay, NBD.
MVD. NBD.
My parents my parents did not do so well in teaching me how to drive, mostly because my dad was a former recruit instructor for the Navy, and I was a very dorky and clumsy high school guy, and behind the wheel of a car combining us was just a terrible idea. So they ended up just sending me to this like driving school, and like the final, like, so first of all, they showed me, you know, they brought us out in a skid car, which is really cool. And they're like, okay, so we're going to simulate a bunch of hydroplaning experiences, and we're going to do some cool stuntman stuff.
Dude,
I'm just like,
seriously?
yeah, it was just this weird thing, man. I have lots of fun little stories, listeners. So
My dad always wanted to send me to like one of the stunt driving, you know, kind of things, because my dad raced cars. And he always wanted to send me one of those, and I never got to. That sounds like it would be amazing.
That sounds fantastic.
it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. But the most interesting part about it was, so everyone has to take their driver's test to get their license, and through the school they were licensed to essentially run me through the tests, and then certifying that, you know, he's allowed to drive because we tested him out. And so I don't know, how long was like your driving test?
How long? Like the actual driving part?
Yeah, the actual driving part of the test.
It was like 10 minutes.
So 3 hours. 3 hours.
Lord.
3 hours of driving in this. Okay, so it was a Malibu. It was a Malibu, and it had
Because you
it.
didn't realize it was a Malibu.
Yeah.
By the
was
way,
a Chevrolet Malibu.
it was a Malibu.
What kind of car was it?
a Malibu.
Malibu.
A Malibu.
Malibu's dream house.
It was a Caribou, Malibu,
Malamar.
Malamar.
Yes, it was a Malamar.
But
Today's podcast brought to you by Chevrolet Malibu.
and so
Today's podcast brought to you by Chevrolet Malamar.
We don't exist, so you probably will be okay.
Chevrolet Malamar. It's a car. But I digress. So 3 hours of driving through Phoenix in rush hour traffic and learning to parallel park in downtown Phoenix. It was the crucible for driving. And I passed with flying colors because I had no choice.
God, I never thought about that. Taking a driving test in Phoenix would be garbage.
It was an experience. And so
Because you probably know better how to drive better than anybody else in there.
now I am expert car driver. He's on my resume and everything.
I took my fucking my driving test in Gainesville, Florida, where it's harrowing in its own right because it's nothing but college students and 90-year-olds.
You said Florida?
Yep.
Harrowing or heroin?
Yes. The answer to that question is yes.
Yes.
But actually, I didn't do my test was not on the actual road. My test was on a course.
Where he went, they didn't need roads.
Oh God.
That's
And on that groaner.
How long was your course?
I don't know, like 10 minutes maybe, tops.
My course
was it 150 cc or?
It was actually Special Cup.
Yeah, it was Special Cup. Okay.
You had to do it in reverse.
Yeah.
Let's see. Your driver's test is on the Rainbow Road course. I'm just gonna mark you down as failed now. So,
Fortunately, it was the Wii U
Look,
version.
I was trying to get to the shortcut. I super didn't mean to plummet us to death.
Fortunately, that weird dude on a cloud with the fishing pole brought us all back to life. So we were fine.
I
mean, what was he doing there? I don't know, but I'm happy he was there.
All I know is he's got some strong line on that fucking pole.
strong line, and that's just his hobby.
Is that how you pick up guys at the bar? Right? You got some strong line on that pole.
Hey,
baby.
I noticed you got some strong line. Ladies, take note. That will always work.
I mean, looking in our direction also kind of works.
And, just any sort of acknowledgement that we exist is
it's appreciated.
pretty much enough.
Ask your doctor if men are right for you.
The answer is always no.
Yeah, no.
Side effects may include death, mild discomfort, a longing sense of irritability.
I like how you started with death.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have worked up to that. Mild discomfort, irritation when you pee, death.
Today's social climbs is not inaccurate.
Death, I mean, according to Reanimator, it is only the beginning. So,
Yeah.
gotta flex my nerd cred here. Just
NECA, I feel like NECA recently released a pretty solid Reanimator figure.
yeah, they had a really good Herbert West figure that I want, but I'm at a point where it's like I have just enough action figure nerd stuff. Like I have my obligatory 3 Gundam models and my Mega Man stuff, and I've too much Mega Man stuff. Too many zeros. But so it's
Do you have an ocarina that is nice and glass and is pretty awesome?
no, I don't.
I do.
I mean, if you want to show me your ocarina or something like that,
Whoa.
Oh, I don't think we're at that level yet.
Whoa.
Take me to dinner first.
Hey, wrap your hands and put your mouth on this.
And blow ever so tenderly.
I will teach you this song.
I mean, speaking of action figure cred, I mean, here's a handful of my figures. We're in my office, so of course,
My Little
a
Pony.
lot of my figures are up here.
That is a lot of my little ponies, man. That's a little bit too much.
Tyler, I don't know if you know this, but friendship is magic.
Not when it's with you.
I can't argue that. But I've got the SH Figure Arts Ninja Turtles. I cannot
those are
wait
rad.
for the NECA film Ninja Turtles to hit GameStop.
Yeah.
Those are coming in February 2019, I believe. And, of course, I've got Nendoroid Mega Man and Nendoroid Link with Epona and all kinds of... Most of my Mega Blocks are up here. The unsung heroes of the building sets, the not Lego...
So like Lego and then like Connects and
Rector. Mega Blocks is way up there.
Mega Blocks.
In my opinion, because their quality is really outstanding and their licensing is significantly better than Lego.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like
they're not
Mega
Lego.
Blocks got better within the last like 10
Yeah.
years.
Oh, totally.
It was just kind of like, oh, by the
so-
way, we have Star Trek now.
All of these Ninja Turtles that are up on the wall, those are all the Mega Blocks Ninja Turtles.
They found
So they
it.
did a classic series. They did a further back classic series of, from the comic books. And then they did blind bags for the old 3D series. And they're all just great builds.
I want to see them get the licensing for the actual Eastman and Laird, right?
Yeah.
I want to see Eastman and Laird action figures of them themselves at the time.
Oh,
That'd be really
of Eastman and Laird at the time?
That'd be really, really, really.
Because I was
really
going to
nerdy.
say, those black and white Ninja Turtles up there are the Eastman and Laird Ninja Turtles as made by Mega Bloks. They did an Eastman and Laird series with, I think, like 4 play sets and individual figure kits. And they're so good. The shells are metal. Like, the builds are really phenomenal.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I'm bummed because, so first off, all right,
can I touch
I know
your
we're
Ninja
getting
Turtles?
to the end of the podcast, but I need to rant for a second.
Do it.
Oh, I think I know what you're about to rant about.
Rise of the Ninja Turtles is not a fucking Ninja Turtles series.
Hashtag not my turtles.
Well, and I was ready to get behind that hashtag when the Michael Bay films were coming out.
Yeah.
Because that's not my turtles. But at the same time, I can recognize that they're telling the story a little bit differently, but the characteristics are all there. Like, the core characteristics
Yeah.
are all there.
And number 2 had a fair amount of fan service that was
Yeah.
actually pretty solid. You
I
gotta
mean,
admit.
their origin story is all fucked up. The turtles were not April's pets. And they didn't inherit their colors because that's how they were marked in the lab. Like, these were minor changes, from the origin story and stuff. And I just identified that Turtles has changed 4 generations. Like, this may not be my Turtles. But who am I to complain? Because I got 2 solid Ninja Turtles movies myself. Those Ninja Turtles 1 and 2 were great films. I love them.
But what about the third one?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? I don't know of what you speak.
Yoshi, no.
I
I feel like we all need to have like a moment of nerd.
can't say that I recognize what it is that you're talking about.
It just doesn't exist. Did you black out during that?
No, it's Highlander 2 rules.
Highlander 2 rules just doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
yeah. No, Highlander 2 doesn't exist.
Yeah, it just
Yeah,
doesn't
because there can
exist.
be only one. Yuck.
And this has been the Robot Boys. And
I'm not done. I'm not done with my.
Thank you for
with
coming
my
to our
rant.
TED Talk.
So Mega Bloks started producing these great figures, that not only captured what was the current Turtles at the time, which was the 3D, Nickelodeon-owned Turtles, which was a surprisingly outstanding series. Just enough throwbacks and references to the old stuff. Casey's hockey stick said like Eastman on it or something, and just these little nods and respect to the original material.
I like that crossover episode where they go to the other the original universe.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, so this is how this reality works. We have to use gags and stuff. And it's just like, hey.
They were very self-aware. They did a great job with it, in my opinion. And so I've got, all these Mega Bloks turtles from the blind bags. I think I'm only missing a couple of them. But then they also made the Eastman and Laird sets and the classic series sets, which is where my Krang comes from. It's where I've got a party van there, and I actually have the Technodrome. Ooh. And they were great kits. We're never going to see those now because Rise of the Ninja Turtles is what is the current property.
I liked that they,
never say never.
Back in the day, all the turtles, for the most part, looked about the same with just different color band, and and that's how their personality shone through even more because it's not this one has goggles and it was he does machines, and that's pretty much what we know from the theme song.
And he's cool but crude.
Yeah,
he's a party dude.
He's a party dude. Something about pizza.
But as far as though, we could always see how many iterations of He-Man and Transformers have crashed and burned and failed.
It's true, but so Nickelodeon owns the property now, right? And Nickelodeon owned it through the last series. And my expectation is that Nickelodeon is going all in on Rise. And so that means that they're not going to license out, classic iterations or anything like that. That's my expectation. I could totally be wrong, but that's my expectation. And the problem that I have with that is Rise is not Ninja Turtles. In any of the previous iterations where I was like, oh, I don't like this. This isn't, the Turtles that I grew up with. I'm not a fan of this. You could replace all the Turtles and people would watch it and still go, this is Ninja Turtles. Why aren't there Ninja Turtles in it? With the Rise of the Ninja Turtles, you could replace all the characters
with anything else.
And no one
bunch of
would
sticks.
No,
a piece of toast.
Yes, exactly.
I would watch the hell out of
the
that.
cast of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh, I would definitely watch the hell out of that.
Nickelodeon, pay attention, please.
Who's law? Your law or mine, Joker?
Hey, fucking Ninja Turtles over here! Quit using my pool!
Why won't this blood stop running down my walls?
Thousands of years ago in the future.
Hey, Fryman!
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
It's so bad. And I think what bothers me the most about it is their portrayal of Splinter is an absent father. It's a dude. I'm
going to the bar.
He's more interested in watching television and sleeping in front of the TV than he is in being a father figure to the Turtles. And that is the most disgusting departure from who that character is established to be through decades of telling this story.
Disrespectful of fucking Master Splinter. That's
do they even call him Master Splinter, or is it just Hey You?
Yeah, so there's, I think, 4 episodes out right now, and he has not played a large part of it. It's troublesome.
Actually, Master Splinter went to the store for some cigarettes in the very first
And then never came back.
So are you my dad now? Pizza? and they're into like burritos or something that's not pizza
Instead of pizza.
So yeah,
They haven't
burrito time.
They haven't established the food obsession.
Oh, that's like they did that in like the first movie. Like
I know, right?
It was
They're
just
actually
like,
really into halal. It's the other New York street food.
But even in introducing the pizza obsession in the last series, the 3D series, they did it so well, and they did it within the first episode, and it was, like there are these very key points that need to be touched on. One of which is that the only reason that these 4 are not lost and incompetent is because they have the guidance of a wise teacher.
now they have the guidance of a pizza franchise Pizza Patron. Are you my father, Pizza Puppy?
But that's my rant on that. There's still time for it to maybe turn around. It's only been 4 episodes.
I will say, with a lot of TV shows nowadays, it does take a little bit for them to grow. Give them a
Yeah.
chance. One season normally is,
But
unfortunately, where we end up having to draw that line.
I've consumed enough Ninja Turtles to know, like when it hits a point where I'm like, it's no.
Saying that makes it sound like the one, like you're hopping from each universe, just like,
I will destroy the turtles. Turtle soup.
I am a rabid, diehard Ninja Turtles fan. I don't know if either of you have been in that bathroom,
I have not.
but it is entirely Ninja Turtles themed.
Beyond the
There's
green door.
Michelangelo bath mat. There's a Ninja Turtles shower curtain. I've got the 4 masks on the wall. There's a Ninja Turtles towel.
There's
a
even a
Ninja
dildo
Turtles
that they call
soap
Splinter.
dispense.
It's just just a broken off broom handle.
Whoa. We call it Splinter because it will split you off.
It's like a 3-foot long. It's actually just a cane.
Cane just snapped in half. And so I guess my question for you would be, who's your favorite turtle then?
So growing up, it was Mikey. And now I'm more Donnie, but I am torn between Mikey and Donnie as my primaries.
Okay. I growing up, my favorite was Mikey because catchphrase machines are every
yeah.
kid's dream.
Oh, yeah.
But as I got older, I became more of a Leo dude, and so now I'm riding the fence between both of them.
Yeah.
Let's do the cusp turtles. It's like the horoscope thing.
How about you, Tyler?
Mikey. It's the easy answer, I know, but I've always been a Mikey guy.
Yeah.
Always. He's hilarious. So
Yeah, he is hilarious and goofy.
Anyone
and
that comes out with Raph on the gate as their favorites is just
is an asshole.
Yeah, it's like you're probably in jail. Yeah, it's always been Raph.
Yeah.
Cue the Topless Robot letter writing campaign from a horde of angry Raphael fans.
If you or your loved ones favorite turtle is Raphael,
you may be entitled to compensation.
So I think we're at time. We should probably wrap things up. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And hey, this is the new Topless Robot. And we're going to try and produce fun, interesting content for you. One of which being this podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And, of course, go to toplessrobot.com for articles and news about all of your favorite nerdy properties and anything that basically comes across our minds pretty much. Now, something that I wanted to do for the next episode, maybe not the next episode, maybe the episode after it, because we're launching around the time that we'll be recording the next episode, is I'm going to have a call-in number for people to call in and record a question or record a comment or statement or anything, something like that, and we'll play it and we'll respond to it on the podcast. So look in, go to toplessrobot.com. You'll find that number there, and you can call in and record a question or a comment or to steal something from Nerdist, a quement.
or a thinly veiled threat if you feel so entitled.
Or not so veiled.
And and we'll play it on the podcast and respond to it. But we have no sponsors this podcast. If you would like to advertise or sponsor Topless Robot Podcast, email ryan@toplessrobot.com. Any final words, gentlemen?
No words, only dreams.
I didn't get to get my nerd rant out, so I just kind of want to get really quick nerd rant.
Go on. We've got time.
And it's an old one. I need to say it. It's just, well, actually, no, it's a new one. We're going to go with the new one.
Okay.
Nintendo, stop fucking up your online services. Please get us a real working online service. Not this fucking bullshit app. I don't want to have to use my phone to talk to people. That's why I play video games.
Also, leave Emmy Paradise alone. Please.
Yeah, actually, really.
I was staff on Emmy Paradise like, way back in the day. Maz J and Saracast. Like I got into a very big. Back then in 2000, I ran a website. I started a website called mediocreshit.com. And at the time, Emmy Paradise provided me with hosting. And Saracast, one of the founding members, at the time, Maz J and Saracast were the admins. And I did programming stuff for them in exchange for hosting space. And Saracast and I got into a big argument on the forums about, in his eyes, using swear words was indicative that you were a lower class of person.
I've known a few people like that, and to those people I say go frick themselves.
But no, I mean, it basically...
I'm gonna straight up say, go fuck yourself.
Dang.
You just go,
it basically boiled down
Dang you
to
to heck.
I am an intelligent human being, and to you I say fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I am capable of using these words in this way because fucking free speech and who gives a shit and their words, and I use them to provide accentuation to statements that I'm making.
Sentence enhancers.
I call them word salad dressing.
Yes. They are my ranch.
Crudetons.
I'm actually more of a thousand. They're
Crudetons.
Crudetons.
And on that
I'm
note,
using that forever. I love it.
And on that note, they are the croutons of our word salad.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.